Hey Blue Bunny Nation, it is Blue Bunny Gamer Girl here, and I know I haven't talked to you guys since like last year, but I'm back, and I thought that I would come back with a story time slash update for you guys, something that I don't think I've told you yet. I made a video a couple videos ago about me working at UPS, and I was so excited, and I was so happy to have that job there. Now what I didn't tell you guys is that I quit the job, and it's not because of what some of you guys may be thinking. That job was one of the most amazing things that has happened to me for quite some time now. I would go to that job and people would be like, oh my god, is Bunny coming in today? There she is, you know, that's Bunny, and you know, I want to work with her, and it would feel really cool. And I don't want you guys to think that it was the physicalness of the job or anything like that, because it wasn't. The reason why I quit the job and just stop, you know, going. I talked about it being a new year. I chose to go to this meeting for people who are having a very hard time in their life and different situations that they're going through. This is my first time ever going to any type of meeting like this with other people, and a woman stood up and she was just like, I want everybody to know that abuse and all that other stuff is fake and it's not real. So I had to sit there for the rest of the meeting just replaying her words in my head and how it's not real. And I was kind of confused in why a woman would go to a place that's specifically for support for people to share their stories and all that stuff, just to say it ain't real. Like, I was blown away by that, but at the end of the meeting, I asked this woman why she would say something like that, and I knew in how she responded that she hadn't gone through any type of abuse before in any way, shape, or form, because the only thing she kept saying was statistics and you know, charts and all this other stuff. Women, 98% of women who say this, that, and whatever are lying. And I didn't really have anything to say back to her. I went into the bathroom and I cried for a very long time, because I was thinking, like, not just of my situation, but I was thinking of how this woman is going to influence other people to have them think that abuse and, you know, any other type of issues that are evolved around abuse isn't real. And so I was crying for them, I was crying for myself, and it was everywhere. And a perfect example would be my job that I quit. I think that it's a good idea to use myself as an example, because I'm facing that face first, however you want to call it. But that job, like I said, it was an awesome job. The people were amazing. But every day that I would go to that job, as I explained to you guys, you had to put the stuff in the truck, and the stuff that came down the ramp, you had to put it in its sequence order, and you know, I explained all that stuff to you guys already. Every time I would go to put something in the truck, I would break down and cry, wipe my tears, then grab something else, put it in the truck, grab something else, put it in the truck, remember, cry. Like, it was a pattern that I couldn't really understand why certain things in my life happen, and I'm very anxiety driven. All of these things were going through my head at once, and I was trying to tackle this job, and I couldn't handle it on myself, if that makes any sense. Had a day where I went and, you know, I was smiling and everything, and my manager pulled me to the side and she basically told me, you know, I hope the guy that isn't dropping you off here every day hurting you in some way, you know. It was kind of like she was telling me, I want you to tell me what's going on, but in your time that you feel comfortable with telling me. And we sat for like 20 minutes, and she was just telling me about her life and about how I'm not gonna, say it to put her business out there or anything like that, but it was really similar to mine. She, after the conversation was over, she gave me one of the biggest hugs that I've ever gotten in a really long time, and I embraced that. I embraced that feeling, and the people were just amazing. And so one day I woke up, it was kind of like I was frozen. I knew that I wanted to go back into that environment. At the same time, I knew I can do it. When you're in a public place at work, you should not, from what I know, you should not just cry and cry and cry and cry. Like that's not what work is about. You're there to work, you're there to commit, you're there to, I know all this stuff already that you're supposed to do, that you're supposed to know. In my head, I felt very afraid and I felt very scared. And this video is hard to make because I don't know how to explain myself. Like, it honestly may just sound like I'm talking about total right now. I have no idea. It's kind of like a person going back home after they've gone through so much. Like, I know I've said this before, but there has been so many different things that I've lost in this life and so many things that I've gained as well, but sometimes the things that you've lost hit you really, really hard. And the place where I felt comfortable and where my mind was at ease was at home. Because, even though my mom isn't, here for me to talk to right now, I can still go in her room and feel her energy when I feel like I'm about to break down. And that's just the way that I handled it. I'm not gonna say that that was a good way. If I could go back, I would, just to maybe talk about some of the things that I was going through. And I'm not good with telling people goodbye, but I kind of did know that the time for me at that job was over for the time being. I feel like a total because I didn't call them back to let them know. I just stopped. I just completely stopped. And I did the same thing when my father passed away. I isolated myself from everything. I had the opportunity to let people know what I was going through, but in my head, I felt like I could handle it by myself. And I did the same thing. I made the same mistake with the job that I was at. I don't feel like I gave myself enough time to connect with the people that was there, to let them know what was going on. But in a way, they felt what was happening. They seen what was happening. But it gave me a different type of experience because they were letting me know that I could come forward to them when I was ready. It's just in my heart. There's a lot of times where if I have feelings for someone, or I know that in my heart I care about them, I know that at some point in time they're gonna be gone. Or in my head that I'll think to myself, like, is putting myself in their life going to endanger them in some way, or is gonna bother them in some way? And then I'll pull away on purpose. I'll just pull away and I'll stop. Even though my manager was the kindest person that I've met in a while, I pulled away from her, and I didn't know how to deal with somebody actually taking the time out to want to do this. Somebody actually taking the time out to want to understand slowly and surely. That was another female went through something similar to my situation. Well, hopefully in every story there's a moral, and the moral in this story time is that if you're going through something, no matter what it is, never let it stop you from doing the thing that makes you happy or that creates some type of positivity in your life. No matter what it is, it could be walking to the park every day, it could be drawing something, it could be, I don't know, it could be any, like, planning planting flowers or something, if it brings you that sunshine or that glimmer of hope that there is gonna be another day tomorrow, then never let anything pull you away from that. Never let anything stop you from doing what you love or what keeps you alive and going in this journey that we all call life. And if you're going through anything at all, anything that you want to talk about, any issue that you may be having that you don't know who to go to, my PlayStation gamer tag is in the description. You can add me on there. We can hash it out on a 1v1. I will sit there and I will let you kill my character as many times as you want, and I will sit and I will listen to anything that you need to say. But never make a permanent decision for a temporary situation. And until next time, you guys, Blue Bunny Nation lives forever. And enjoy the rest of the gameplay.
We have the lead. We have the lead. Lost the lead. Breaking their backs. We've lost the lead. We're breaking their backs. Reinforcements! Recon searching for targets.